Hey guys, we're going to go over the wholesale contract that we use to wholesale properties. First of all, of course, disclaimer, I'm not an attorney, so consult with an attorney about using this contract in your state, the laws in your area, etc. So make sure that you do that. Also, just quick personal note, you can see that this is the contract we've used. As the making of this video, we've made 55 grand in just wholesale fees by using this contract. Also, another side note, don't have to be fancy. There's nothing fancy about it that a contract has to have. It just has to have all the elements. You can actually click here and read this story here where I forgot my contract. I didn't have one, but the person wanted to buy the property, so I just wrote it on a sheet of paper, wrote all the elements, everything I could remember, and we still made $7,000 on that deal. So, but let's get into it. So, purchase and sale agreement. As you see, you put the date, the seller's information. I usually do not put the social security number. I usually just scratch this out, and the buyer's information, which is us. So that's simple. Street address. I just write the street address. I don't worry about legal description or anything like that. Sometimes on my real estate agent contracts, I have to begin putting the legal description, but on here, don't worry about it. I like to put property sold as is. The purchase price is. Put the purchase price. You can also in parentheses spell it out like you would on a check, just so there's no so it's very clear to everyone. Earnest money, this line here, any earnest money to be held by, I always put our title company. I do not hold earnest money, and I do not like the, if I'm a seller, I don't hold earnest money, and I don't like the seller if I'm buying a property. I don't let them hold earnest money. If there's any earnest money to be had, usually it's $10 or whatever, I just say the title company's going to have it. If the person wants earnest money, you know, I don't carry cash with me or whatever. Also, I deal with sellers where they're not worried about, they just want their house sold. They want me to help them out. They're never concerned with earnest money, but I just put advance line and title there. If they have any concerns, I actually have a blank check actually that I leave with my title company where I can have them fill it out. That's another important factor, is having a good relationship with the title company. But anyways, number 3, condition of house and appliances. I usually cross this section out given that I'm buying the house as is. Closing date and transfer of title. Closing will be held at, very important. You know, I use my title company, so that's what you fill out there. Damage to property just says seller's going to maintain the property until I take it over. Skip down to number 7. I put this in here, it's pretty important. So it gives me access. It says I have the right to advertise the property. And I can even make repairs. I usually don't do this, but you know, if I so chose to make repairs or improvements to the property, that I'm allowed to do that, and they would become the sellers if I defaulted on the deal or whatever. But it gives me the right to advertise the property and gives me the access to the property. You've got to be able to show this property in order to help the person out to wholesale the deal. And then just final thing here saying, hey, this is a contract. Make sure you know that. Here you can add other contingencies or provisions or whatever if you need to. If it needs to be contingent on financing, make it contingent on financing. You know, if it needs to be contingent upon, if you have a partner or whatever, if you know it needs to be contingent upon a further inspection, make it contingent upon that. Do whatever you need to do. Just be upfront, be honest with your seller. Let them know what you're thinking, what you think you can do, and go from there. So seller signs, buyer signs, and there you have it. Once again, I've got to stress, definitely better to work with a seller that is easy to work with. If they're being very difficult and picking everything apart and asking a million questions, don't think that that's not going to happen later. So that's my, you know, like I said, read the story up above. I wrote a contract on a sheet of paper and no problem sold the property. So the contract is actually not the most important part. It is the working with the seller. Just make sure that you have all the legal parts that you need to have in that contract. So once again, check this with your attorney. But this is the contract that we use, and I've made plenty of money. So thanks. Take care.